Hello, I'm Adam.
And I am Philip. Welcome to the Gryphon Podcast. Tuesday, we have meat subs or veggie subs. Wednesday, we have salmon teriyaki or tofu stir-fry for vegetarians. Thursday, we have chicken fajitas or veggie fajitas. And Friday, we have fish and chips, and for vegetarians, stuffed peppers.
It's nice to see that we have our staff back in the kitchen. Now we can go back to eating their great food. Now on to an interview with Mr. Hodgins, but right before that, we're going to play a little clip of his song. Now to introduce Mr. Hodgins, a music and technology teacher at Selwyn House.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
So, Mr. Hodgins, when did you start your music career?
I don't know if I call it a career. It's like kind of a more advanced hobby. But I started releasing music in about 2011. I tried releasing music much earlier than that. I was sending out demos, but I've been making music since I was, 15, recording stuff at least.
Who did you start with, or what band did you start with?
I played with some friends in Thunder Bay where I grew up because I played guitar when I was 12, and we never recorded anything. I wasn't in a band, and I wanted sort of more control over what I was doing, so I decided to get into electronic music, and I was able to start making stuff on my own.
So, we know you're part of a band called Solitary Dancers.
Yeah, that's me and my friend Anthony.
How long has that been going on?
We released our first record in 2016, like the fall, I think.
So I assume at some point in your career, you had to take the choice of taking teaching full-time or music full-time. Why did you pick teaching?
I knew that I kind of always thought about being a teacher, and when I went to school, I decided to do a degree in something that I loved, and knowing that when I went back to Ontario, if I had a 4-year degree, I could do a 1-year teacher's program to be able to start teaching. So I did that sort of for fun because that's what I love to do, and then sort of followed that into a teaching career, and then just continued to do music all along the way.
So did you get a degree in music?
I have a BA Honours in the Recording Arts, which I did in London, England. So I went to a school called SAE that was accredited by Middlesex University. So it was kind of like 3 years nonstop. We were doing lots of studio recording bands, making our own music, and just sort of had fun doing that.
We also know you're a DJ. Do you DJ for events?
I usually... not in the way that someone would play a bar mitzvah or something. Usually people will book us because they like the music that we play or the music that we make. So I've done a lot of live gigs, but also sort of DJing on the side because that's a career for a lot of people making dance music. People tend to make dance music and then also get into DJing, and DJing was the first thing I got into before sort of making electronic music. So I'd been collecting records for a long time, and so people booking us off the back of our music and getting to play music that's kind of similar.
Now, where can we find your work?
Physically, you can go to, in Montreal, there's a few record stores that carry the stuff that I have done and that I'm currently doing. Online, there's tons of record stores. And then digitally, we're everything that we do is released through a label that goes through a distribution system that goes to Spotify and Apple Music and sort of all the major things. So I assume I'm on Amazon and Deezer and all these other things, but for sure Spotify and Apple I've seen.
How can people who enjoy your music support your music career?
Yeah, money, if that's what you're talking about, is a tough thing. I think we make most of our money doing shows, playing DJ gigs. So you guys aren't of age to come out to shows, but that's kind of a way to support it. But I think just listening to the music, because a lot of music bookings these days are kind of driven by numbers and social media and all this kind of stuff. So the more your music is getting played, and that's kind of obvious, then the easier it is to kind of get booked. But it tends to be, the shows are based on a fan base. So the people liking the music tend to be running the clubs and our DJs as well. So any shows that we've gotten have sort of been off the back of our music, even if it's not been a big record or something. It's been sort of appreciated by people within that scene, because it's a very small group of people within the area that I release and play music in.
Well, thank you very much for coming. We really enjoyed you as our guest.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to see you're continuing the podcast. It's been really cool so far.
We'd like to invite you to put a piece, story, song, or poem and send it in through a Google form, and then we will select one person a week to be put on our podcast.
Today is National Groundhog Day, Tater Tot Day, and Ukulele Day. So remember to go feed your local groundhogs some tater tots while you play them a song on your ukulele.
Stay 6 feet apart, wear your masks, and sanitize your hands. And thanks for listening. And to play us out, one of Mr. Hodgins' songs.